If you want access, protection, and affordability in one slick package, the Barricade Open Trail HD running boards will be the perfect fit for your 2018 and newer 4-door JL Wrangler. This is a set of aggressively styled heavy-duty running boards that will provide you plenty of safe access to the cabin and roof of your favorite off-road rig, and they come in at a very reasonable price. Running boards are a really simple and easy modification that come with a wealth of benefits. For starters, they make it much easier to access the cabin or roof area of your rig, especially if it's lifted. The Barricade Open Trail HDs feature a 3.5-inch wide step with integrated grips, so you can get a foothold even in chunky boots or slippery conditions. Since these are a running board, they are going to run the full length of your rocker panels too, so no matter what you need to reach, you'll have a place to step. They also drop down pretty far, so even for those of us who are of a shorter stature like me, or those of you with a seriously lifted rig, you'll be able to get into the cabin or access the roof without much fuss. Now, the other big benefit of something like this is the protection, and that's where the HD part of the name comes in. The hefty materials and the tight fitment here mean these will provide you with plenty of protection for the rocker panels and body of your rig. They tuck up nice and close to the rockers, effectively covering the entire thing on both sides. So if you're out on the trail and encounter a big obstacle, these are going to take the hit instead of that being absorbed by the truck itself. And while adding any kind of running board or sidestep is going to take away from your ground clearance somewhat, these don't make a huge impact, and the additional protection they provide, I think, more than makes up for it. The HD part of the name here is no joke, as these things are pretty darn hefty. Constructed of heavy-duty steel tubing and plating, they are solid. And the material is finished with Barricade's 2-stage powder coat. First layer is an epoxy pre-coat, and then you've got this nice textured matte black powder coat that you see finishing it off. So these should have plenty of resistance to rust, corrosion, impacts, and the elements. Basically, you name it, these can take it. The bracketry is made from the same type of steel and finished with the same coating, so everything will match perfectly and should last you a good long while. Pricing comes in at about $350, which for a set of running boards this solid is a really good price. They may not be super fancy, but they do everything you need and then some for one of the best prices in the segment, and really, how can you argue with that? Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. These are going to be a totally bolt-on install, so you don't need to modify anything on the Jeep itself in order to get them fitted, making it an easy job for you to tackle at home. We're going to make it a little bit easier still as we walk you through the installation process step by step, so for that, let's head on out to the shop.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, 10mm wrench, an extension, and 10 and 13mm sockets. What's up, guys? Today we're installing running boards on our Wrangler, so let's get started. So the first thing I've done is laid out all of my brackets and the hardware. Now these brackets are all slightly different, but they install all the exact same way. We've got a 13mm bolt with a lock washer and flat washer going through the top, and then we got 10mm bolt, washers, and nuts going through our pinch weld. Now all of our brackets are labeled. On the driver's side here, we got DF, DC, and DR for driver front, center, and rear, and it's going to be the same on the passenger side. So we're at the front driver side bracket here. We've got our hole up top that we're going to take our 13mm bolt with a lock washer and flat washer, put it through there, and then thread it into that factory threaded hole in the body. And then take a 10mm bolt with a flat washer and put it through the pinch weld, and then another flat washer and a lock nut on the other side. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side of the bracket. And then once you have that in, just push your bracket up into place and take a 10mm socket and wrench to tighten down the bolts going through your pinch weld. And then grab a 13mm socket and a short extension and thread your top bolt into place. And then repeat that same process for your other 2 brackets. So now we're ready to lift our running board up into place. Now we have riv nuts on the running board that we're going to be threading our combo bolts into. They're going to be going through these brackets. Now these are side specific, so you're going to want the one with the logo that's further back from center. That's going to be the driver side, and it's going to be the same thing on the passenger side. If you've got your logo in front of center, then you got to flip because you got the wrong side. So now we're going to line up those rib nuts with the brackets, lay our running board down, and I'm just going to take my combo bolts and thread those in, and then we'll go underneath and get a closer look at it and tighten them down. So now underneath, I've got my one bolt that I threaded in to hold this in place. I'm going to go up to the top here and thread in that second bolt. And now once you have both bolts in all three of your brackets, you can start tightening them down. I'm going to start with the bottom ones. I've already got my bolts in the other side. So take a 13mm socket and tighten that down. Then repeat that same process for your other two brackets. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Barricade Open Trail HD running boards for your 2018 and newer Jeep Wrangler JL 4-door. Thank you for watching, and for all things Wrangler, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.